Hey everybody, welcome back to College Conversation with me, Rick.
And me, Nain.
And this young man here is...
Professor.
I don't know, how young are you anyway?
What?
22.
22, that's what I thought.
22.
52. I'm sorry, my memory is...
He's an English teacher, not a math professor.
That's right. That's right.
This is Professor Charlie Smith of
Yeah.
Kaiju fame, right? I'm gonna say fame.
Fame? I don't know fame. Kaiju, definitely a student of.
Student of the Kaiju
Making an
system.
honest attempt.
Now, we have been trying to get you on the show for how long, Charlie? God dang it.
Quite a while, yeah.
Yeah,
And how did we get you on the show today?
Our fellow shit disturb. I mean, Dennis Duarte.
oh, that asshole again.
Yeah, Dennis.
He comes up a lot there, doesn't he? That rat bastard.
You know, we were riding in the car. We were riding in the car to a workout together, and he basically said, "Why don't you do their show?" And I just said, "He's like, you need to tell your story." And Dennis, no, I don't know. I'm not a self promoter in that way, right? Like,
So what he used to always tell us, oh yeah, I'm just a fanboy.
I am total. Test me. I know your.
We
show.
walked into his house because this is where we're at his beautiful house. We walked
Beautiful,
in,
beautiful home.
and there are two clay figures of me and Nain on his goddamn kitchen table.
Yes,
This
I
guy-
pray to them every night. Yes.
This guy's kind of creepy, folks.
Next to the donut box. Which,
So when they disappear after this weekend, don't worry.
oh, yeah.
They're safe in
Yeah.
the basement.
So Nain has to make mention of the fact that he got beat up by a dog today.
I got beat up by a short-legged dog. What is it, Chihuahua?
He's a Chihuahua mix. Yeah.
Okay, so I was having
Yeah.
this delicious maple glazed bacon donut, and I set it down to pick something up from the bag, and before I know it, the dog snatches it off the table and eats most of it in a single bite.
Yeah, I should tell you about Mochi. To be fair, you were kind of set up because he is a big fan of kung fu. So that whole Master Po thing, yeah.
Mochi
Snatch
said,
that
"Your
bacon
kung fu
from
no
him."
good."
He's got a professor as a. You
Yeah.
know what? Let's just forget it.
Now,
Move on. Let's
yeah.
move on.
hey, a little bit on the serious side.
Yeah.
Not only are you a professor in kaiju, but you're actually a professor in school. Tell
I
us about
have
that.
been told that in the paper they gave me from the learning place.
The
says
learning
that.
place.
Yeah. That is true. I have a master's degree in English.
Oh, wow.
And I have a certificate in the instruction of composition at the college level. So I have taught at I've taught at the college level, I've taught at adult level for adult learners, and I am now teaching high school English.
That's crazy.
So yes.
So your
I-
verbal
I'm
judo
actually-
should be really good.
I'm taking lessons from my
You like
10-year-old.
what I did there, folks?
I'm taking lessons from my 10-year-old, but she says I'm a quick learner.
Oh,
There
wow.
you go.
Okay.
That's awesome. Now, how old were you when you got into the martial arts? Because I know you've been doing this for quite a while.
So, a lot of people tell, I've been doing this for 50 years. And,
Right.
But, maybe you've been doing it wrong for 50 years. I don't know.
Okay, so how long have you been
So-
doing martial arts right?
Well, let's see. It's 10:30 now. I actually started when I was 7 years old.
7 years
Oh,
old.
wow.
I started with Senior Grandmaster Pete Morales at Golden Dragon School of Karate. I know you've
Have
heard
you
that
been with him
name
that
before.
long, really?
I've been
May
with him
rest
That's
in
that
peace,
amazing.
yeah.
long. I have.
Why is it that you look so much older than he does?
Wow, really?
Dude, Morales looked really young. Even
He did.
he still had
was-
black hair. I mean, look
Yeah.
at you.
Oh,
young
yeah,
man.
that's right.
know,
Right?
Last time we saw him, he was like...
It was
I thought he was in his
good
50s.
living. Yeah. Well, you know why? Because he had to deal. I had to deal with the learning side of it. He got to do the teaching side of it.
Oh, so it aged
So I think it aged me a little more
It
than it
aged
did
you
him.
from the stress of the belting.
Well,
Yeah.
The
Kaju's a little rough, so...
Yeah, it's a little rough, and that was back in the days when we trained on cement floors.
No.
and,
No padding, no
padding,
helmets.
And the dude trained at the, dude, I say with great respect. Please understand something.
He's an English major. Yes.
I'm very irreverent in my speech, but very reverent in my actions.
There
I
you
have no greater respect for my teachers. Those who know me well know that I take my teachers to heart. So though I may sound irreverent, Senior Grandmaster Pete Morales was not my martial arts instructor. He was my dad.
Wow.
I mean, my dad split when I was 7, so literally
He stepped in.
he stepped into that role.
That's awesome.
Wow, that's intense.
So
No wonder he hit you harder.
yeah. and so what I was gonna say is he trained at the Shotokan Academy in Japan, right?
Wow.
So people don't know that his first art was Shotokan.
I didn't know that. No.
Yeah, I had
And
no clue.
he trained with the Kaju guys, in Hawaii
Yeah.
as a kid, but he also trained with the Shotokan Academy, and those guys were punching barrels of gravel, And so
The old school way.
old school. And if you ever met Senior Grandmaster Pete, if you ever shook your hand,
Yeah.
you know how you were talking earlier about Grandmaster
Master
Harry?
Yeah.
Pete's hands were like stone. And when he hit you, you didn't feel it in the moment. You felt it a week later. Right? Those of us who were students growing up, we would say, "Oh, did you see this? Oh, yeah, did you?"
Wow, that's crazy.
Badges of honor.
Badges of honor.
So
Kaju level.
at the age of 7, was the martial arts your idea, or did somebody?
So it's an interesting, funny story, but not unique. So my brother and his wife heard about a new karate school in Newark, over here in the East Bay.
Right.
And at the time, Senior Grandmaster Pete was teaching at Gaylord School.
Okay.
And so
Gaylord is another kaiju grandmaster.
Great Grandmaster Charles H. Gaylord, respect, rest in peace.
Everybody, we shouldn't have to explain this. Just watch the damn show.
Yeah. If you don't know the name yet,
I gotta. Hey, that's the thing.
go back. So when Senior Grandmaster left Great Grandmaster Gaylord School, he opened up his school at the Newark Pavilion in Newark.
Right.
Okay.
And so my brother had heard about this school, and his wife and my sister-in-law, or her sister, and they're gonna go down and take karate. And so they said, told my mom, hey, why don't you let us take Charlie with us, and maybe it'll be good for him. My mom wanted for me to have a positive role model,
Right.
but because of my life circumstances, my mom was always one of those moms that she did a lot of interesting things as a parent, but one of the things she did really well was she said, look, at some day you're going to have to stand on your own 2 feet. I'm not going to baby you. I'm not going to coddle you. She wouldn't let family members. She actually got in a lifelong fight with her sister over my aunt wanted to treat me very, delicately, and my mom said, no, So she thought it was great. She was on board from minute 1.
What? They beat you up? Go.
Right. Yeah, right, exactly, yeah. You're going to take a few lumps, get knocked on your
Here's a
ass.
stick.
Great,
Go
have a good
hit
time.
him back.
Right.
Okay, yeah. So they went.
Excuse me 1 second. Can I fix something?
Yeah.
This thing is kind of bugging me. I'm thinking it's like covering his chin.
Is it?
Yeah, let's lower it just a little.
Okay. How's that?
Wow,
I
good,
feel
genius.
much better now.
Look at that. Now we can see his face.
Yay!
Okay. So anyway, my brother and his wife and his sister-in-law, they all started, and I started, and they lasted about 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Wow.
Yeah. About 2 weeks. It was the 70s, man. Attention
little
spans were
Charlie.
altered by other things.
Right.
And
And how old were they?
Yeah,
they were
wanted
in
to
their
ask that.
20s, late 20s.
They were in their 20s.
So we're gonna go back to that because that family dynamic. There seems to be a gap of time here. Like,
Yeah.
and I want to know how that happened. But go ahead, finish.
So
your-
anyway, I got into it, and from the moment I started, I knew this was it.
you're done. You were hooked.
I was not one of those students who had to work my way towards the martial arts, who had to develop a passion for it.
Right.
From the minute I started, I was this is where I want to be.
Now, let me ask you another interesting question, because I think people are going to be interested with this. You're legally blind,
That's correct.
and you're
He's legally blonde.
blind.
Oh, blind.
You better watch your phrasing, because that came out a different way, and I don't think what you said is legal.
So you're legally blind, But you're an awesome instructor because I've seen you play, and
Some
I've seen you-
people might argue with you, but
Well,
I
they're
try.
idiots. Trust me.
We'd argue back.
Yeah, we would argue back for you. What the hell? But being legally blind, and when I first heard about this, I was taken aback because I was like, what?
Yeah.
The guy can't see, because legally blind means you're actually blind.
Right.
So, but yet when I see you play, I can't see that. I mean, I've seen you.
I can't
block
see
and
half
do-
of it either. That's the whole point.
Dude,
Okay.
Oh, I walked
that
right in.
seems scripted. Like, really? Like, when you said that, I was just in my head like, are you serious? Did you just say that? Oh my god.
Okay. So I think you had a question or something.
No, the question is, how is a legally blind guy fighting with and teaching? I mean, that's amazing. I want you
Right.
to know that. I mean, that is nothing that I take very lightly. I mean, I'm
No,
just
no,
really
no,
impressed by that. I was like, because when I first heard about it, I was like, whoa, what?
Well, if you want, I can teach you.
Be blind or to?
Yeah.
to
Well, to see what it's like to be me.
is it gonna hurt?
No.
Okay.
ready?
Okay. No! Fuck no! Hey, not on the goddamn show! Don't you fucking do it! What the hell? This. What the fuck?
Okay, you may not have walked into that one, but you were asking for it so much.
Oh, folks!
I love you, Reed. I love you, brother.
Naisa was like, "What the fuck is about to happen?"
Dude, what, should I walk away? Should I leave you two alone? Like, you
No.
need a moment?
No,
Like,
no,
what
don't do
the
that.
hell?
All right, bring it back. Bring it back.
Yes, that's good.
Okay. See, when I get nervous, I laugh and joke. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Same as
That's-
Naeem.
It's
Yeah.
a total
No,
defense
that's good.
mechanism.
That's cool.
So
We're-
I
I'm right,
apologize.
I'm right
no,
there
no, I
with you.
love it, dude. This show is pretty much that, right?
Yeah, that's all we do.
Okay.
do.
So
never get to a point.
answer your question,
Oh, yeah.
it's really hard for me to explain to people what it's like, right?
Right.
Because first of all, what the hell does legally blind? I mean,
That's-
right. What
Yeah,
does
what is
that
the
mean?
definition of that? Yeah.
What is? So I have no vision in my right eye at all.
Okay.
This is a prosthesis, which you're about to find out.
No, don't.
And so I have vision in my left eye only.
Okay.
And that vision is 20, depending upon who's doing the testing, it's somewhere between 2180 to 2200.
Wow.
So what that means is what I see at 20 feet, you could see 180 feet away,
Wow.
right?
That's very limited.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Still, there's a reference point, right?
Right.
So what that means is for me is I can see spatially what's around me. I can see colors. I can see distinguish objects. A tree is a tree. Fence is a fence.
Mexican over there.
Nain is a nain.
He says Mexican, you
But-
say Naeem, thank you.
I got you, bro. So anyway, but fine detail becomes a problem,
Okay.
right? The other real issue with the martial arts is I have no depth perception.
Oh shit.
He's missing an eye, dude. Yeah.
No,
So-
no, I get that though, but I'm just saying.
So
I didn't realize
for
that,
me, I see everything almost two-dimensionally.
Right.
I describe it almost because what I do, and I was talking to Harry about this a couple weeks ago, is I discern distance differently than other people. I
Right.
use relational space, right? So for example, if I'm going to reach out and grab that bottle of water in front of me, I can see the bottle of water, I can see the other things, but the only way I can discern where that is in relation to me is by looking at the distance on the tablecloth. I know I can see the difference between the edge here and the edge of the bottle here, right? I can see the bottles in front of the white thing, but to me it could be sitting on the white thing, I don't know. But this tells me where it's at, so when I reach, I'm going to reach there, right?
That's crazy.
So sometimes that will happen in seconds,
Right.
sometimes instantaneously, and sometimes it'll take me a minute, right? So people are like, you're legally blind, how do you ride a bike? How do you skateboard? How do you teach martial arts? How do you ski?
Well, and that's exactly my question, because that's...
By the way, he does do all those things.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Just to put it out there. We see videos of him
like
skateboarding
I said, I
with
see,
his
I
daughter.
see you fighting and training and all these things. I'm like,
Right.
fuck, he's not blind. You know, right? I'm like, this is bullshit.
You're blind.
Right, yeah.
Right.
But you know what I mean? And that's why it's so impressive, because what you just explained there, people who can see don't realize what you have to go through just to get a glass of water.
Are you sure you're not a math teacher?
Yeah,
Because that all seems very...
I don't
Yeah,
care what
yeah.
they have to go through.
I like it. His mom
so-
taught him better.
There are two
No,
people.
it's just really
no,
impressive.
I mean really, and I don't mean to sound like an asshole, but there's really a couple of different kind of people you get, right? When you're someone with special
Oh, yes.
circumstances, you either get the person who completely discounts you no matter what you do,
Right,
right?
right.
Oh, he's always going to be that blind guy who studies martial arts, right?
Yeah.
And then there's those people who set their expectations of you so low that no matter what you do, oh, that's amazing, right? I could be a shitty martial artist, and you say, wow, you're amazing because you're blind, right?
No, I don't see
No.
it that way.
No, but I mean,
Yeah.
that
No, I get
there
what
are
you're saying,
people-
though. I've
and
seen
it will
that,
come
yeah.
out when you talk to him about, hey, what do you think about him? Oh, he's got heart,
Yeah, they pander. It's-
right? They pander.
Yeah.
And to me,
annoying.
sympathy, and I use this all the time. Sympathy is something you can find between shit and civilization, right?
English teacher, Jeremy.
Sorry.
How long have you been this way?
Don't show this to my boss. Okay?
How long have you been legally blind?
Since birth.
Since birth.
I
Oh,
was
wow.
So
I was
you've
born with a
adapted really well.
genetic disorder called bronchial ocular facial syndrome.
Okay.
So it's a genetic disorder that occurs mostly in the head and upper body.
Uh-huh.
It can also affect the renal system. I
Oh,
didn't
damn.
even know what it was because 1969 they don't know.
Nope.
They told my mom.
He's a little slow.
Yeah, they told my. The
That's
60s
okay.
there were other chemicals involved. Even the doctors, they had the good money. They had the best chemicals.
Oh, yes, they do.
So they told my mom, he's going to be developmentally delayed. He's
Uh-huh.
not going to be able to do much. Don't hold out much hope. And my mom said, well, I don't find that acceptable. And the doctor said, fine, well, you actually have a barometer because he has a twin sister. So watch what his twin does, and
You have a twin sister?
I do.
The hell?
Like I said, I want to go back to the whole family thing because there's a lot
Yeah.
that's missing.
Yeah.
So is your sister also legally blind?
No, she's completely physically average, but I wouldn't use the word normal because she's my sister. So, that precludes her from ever being normal. Right?
That's a good point to
There
make.
you go.
Yeah.
So she stole,
got a lot of sisters.
she
Oh,
stole
man, I got way too many
all your good health, huh?
Yes. So she did. The womb was a battleground. Man, I'm telling
And you lost.
That's why martial arts.
Yeah.
I finally found it when I came out.
Like,
I was
I'm
A
used
little
to
late.
it.
A little late, but you got there.
So anyway, so the doctor said, "Watch, if he lags, you'll know by the lag time how he's developing, right?"
Wow.
And my mom said, "You did everything first."
So sister's an idiot. So sister's the idiot.
Or I got it, but okay, no. Cheryl, I love you. You're not lazy. I love you. You're an amazing person.
You used to be lazy though, because he got ahead of you.
And he's a martial artist.
Yeah.
So there.
Huh?
Huh.
And the teacher.
True.
And the teacher.
True.
You just really had to show her up, didn't you?
So, yeah, it's survival, dude. But so I just did, and then my mother never, like I said, the one thing she really did well as a parent was say, one day I'm not going to be around, and sadly to say, she's no longer with us, but she said one day I'm not going to be around. You're going to have to stand on your own 2 feet, and the only way you're going to figure that out is by falling down a lot. And
Here's Kaju.
here's God, you, by
These
the way.
fuckers will knock you on your ass every goddamn minute.
Yeah.
And for you non-Kaju people, if you don't get that reference, shame on you. You should
Yeah.
look it up because, yeah, these guys are Badass as fuck.
Yeah.
You're not on his ass every time we got on the show, so I
Oh,
expect you to do that
They
later
kicked
today.
in the balls.
Yeah, he brought a cup, don't worry.
eviscerated.
Yeah, I was
Right.
just gonna ask you. You gotta bring your Kaju card, right?
Dude, hell yeah. I knew we were seeing you.
Okay.
That's the first thing I
First
put on
question
this
in the
morning.
car was, did you bring the cup?
Yeah, I was like, he's Kaju, right? And
Yeah.
he was like, yeah. You bring your cup? I was like, hell yeah. Are you kidding me? I've done enough of these with Kaju people that I know.
The day that Tammy Willen kicked him in the.
Oh my god.
I love that show. That was a great show.
You.
But really, the best was the Mickey Lopez stab to them.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That was crazy. That was fun. That was a fun show. So okay. So you have a twin sister.
Yeah.
You were 7. Your brother was in his 20s, married.
Right.
So how many siblings are there?
So we are like, we're like a twisted version of the Brady Bunch.
Oh.
So
Any serial killers? Legally, we can't say. Never
yeah,
mind.
I can't admit to that on camera.
I told you can kick him in the knee when you're
There's no, I'm an open book. My
There you
problem
go.
is I don't keep my mouth shut. when people ask questions.
You keep getting in trouble.
Yeah.
For legal reasons.
Disclaimer.
Okay, so
So anyway, my mom married out of high school.
wow.
Graduated from Sequoia High up here in Redwood City.
Okay.
Graduated out of high school, married out of high school, and they had 5 kids. And they were like the 1950s Leave It to Beaver family.
Oh,
had a
goodness.
business in Fremont,
Wow.
this
White picket fence house.
white picket fence, all 9 yards.
Right.
Until my mom said, I'm not really good with you sleeping with every cocktail waitress you meet. So I'm just going to take my kids and, try my chances somewhere else. So she did that.
That's
Your
smart
mom
to do
sounded like
back
a really
then.
strong,
Yeah.
She's
Well,
Spaniard,
badass.
man.
Oh, there you
Spaniard, viva la raza, right?
There you go, yeah.
You don't mess with them. And
Wow.
my dad, born in 1919, World War II vet.
Wow, okay.
Very, very hard life. Grew up in the Great Depression,
Ooh, yeah.
and married out of the Army when he got home from World War II, married, and beautiful wife, gorgeous, movie star quality looking, And they had 3 sons in San Mateo. My oldest brother, Mike, was like the high school football hero. He was in the
okay.
parade downtown San Mateo, the
Yeah.
whole 9 yards. And then in her 30s, she got cancer.
Oh.
And he lost her with 3 boys. And it just, I don't think he ever recovered.
Yeah,
I think
that's
he
tough.
that was a sorrow that he carried with him.
Oh, from a
throughout-
war to
throughout.
that, and
Yeah. So my dad had 3 sons, and he needed someone to take care of them.
Uh-huh.
And my mom was a wife in the 60s, single with 5 kids, and they met at a church in Milpitas and got married and decided they would share their misery together and raise their children. No, hey, sorry.
and then
Sorry.
Charlie was born.
It just made everything worse.
That's true, actually. So, no, not that made everything worse. So,
Hey Charlie,
So-
I gotta ask you. These cushions you put out here that are overnight.
yeah.
You know
Oh, a
they're
little
right?
wet? You want to
A little wet.
You
It
wanna
looks like I
switch
just
to
peed
it?
my pants. God damn it!
Okay. Sorry. You
That's
can
okay.
switch to it.
No, that's good. I was like, why is this thing starting to get cold down here?
Oh,
Which is weird because mine is completely dry.
Really?
Yeah.
It's almost like it was planned.
You-
Oh.
you set up the
No.
This
Kidding.
Hey, I couldn't catch a dog from getting my donut. You think I'm going to be paying attention to the cushion?
Yeah.
Come on.
All right. Anyway, sorry.
Misery loves company.
So,
I think
yeah,
that's where
misery
we
loves
were.
company. So, my mom and my dad got married,
Right.
and they had my twin sister. And it lasted till, they actually ended up divorcing, then get married again, tried
Wow.
again. and
Same marriage.
same marriage.
Okay.
And then they literally divorced and then got married.
Another
again.
marriage. They tried to
Tried it again.
Oh, they did it. Okay, because I thought they got married again to other people. And
No,
then
no,
they
no,
came
no,
out.
no.
Like, wait.
And then they just called it quits when my sister and I turned about 7.
Wow.
And so my mom, my siblings, my oldest brother Mike was, in his 30s, married with kids of his own. In fact, I have nieces who are a year older than mine. So,
wow.
Figure that out.
Yeah, that's pretty cool though.
According to them.